Hello everyone, welcome back to Case Done Live. Today we are at the episode 11. My name is Pisek or Benz, your host today. Case Done plan to bring you news and insights from across the world about AI and generative AI so that you can empower yourself, your team and your work. Today we are going to talk about something that I haven't talked before. It's about the image generation. And this is because Stability AI, one of the most well-known organization or team, they just released Stable Diffusion 3 Medium. It allows you to generate image using capability of generative AI. And today, I will talk about how you can use these models, what these models are, and also tools that allows you to use these models on your laptop or on your private servers, even on a physical hardware or cloud computing. So let's get started. But actually, before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Case Done by AI. We have it on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Substack, or even X as well. Now, before we actually go into look at the Stable Diffusion models and all these tools, Google has something really fun, and I want to play it with you. This is an app from Google called Say What You See. It's actually going to teach you how you should prompt to generate an image using generative AI. So let's get to the website here. This is artandculture.google.com, and one of the available module is this, Say What You See. So let's play. Now I click launch the experiment. There are so many levels. Looks very cartoony. I think you can play it with your friends or even your kids too. So let's get started. Level 1, 50% match to pass. Include information about medium. I need to know the medium, subject of the image, and the context. So this medium is painting. So basically, what kind of photo, well, not a photo. Photo is one type of medium, I think. Painting is another one. So what kind of visual materials that I want to produce? Do I want to produce a painting or a photo or a portrait maybe? And what is the subject inside this medium? Now it's a dog, and the context is, a context, right? In this case, it's a field. All right, so I think I need to identify out of these three elements from a given image. What do I have here? Okay, this is the image that I have. Oh my God, what is it? Maybe illustration of, I think it's plain illustration of two colors. Pink, is it pink? I think it's red. Pastel red and pastel green of two, I think it's in transitioning gradient. I'm not sure. Let's try. Okay, let me think. This might take up to 30 seconds. Oh, really, huh? Okay, not bad. I have 75% match here. Top tip, describe the style of the illustration. Is it realistic, abstract, or cartoony? So this is the style. So this is the actual description of this image, right? A minimalist painting. Okay, it's a painting of a gradient running from pale green to dusty pink. Wow, okay, I'm not going to be able to come up with this naming of the colors myself like this, but yeah, I know it's green and sure, pinkish, reddish. I think artists can actually do it much better than me, but well, I can identify green and pink. That is already good enough. There are paintbrush marks faintly visible. Okay, I don't see it at all. But you know what? I got a good match, 75% match. Alright, let's click the next button. Okay, I think this is a photograph. The medium is a photograph of a subject is I think it's ramen, soup ramen with soup ramen. That's the subject. I think I put and boiled eggs in a bowl. Put ramen, having boiled eggs, half boiled eggs. I don't know what that thing is. Onion, maybe green onion. And some kind of green veggie in a ceramic bowl. Let's go with that. Generate. It's thinking. Hopefully not that long, 30 seconds. Okay, I have 88% match. It's not bad, isn't it? Okay, the ground truth description of the subject image is a soft focus. Oh god, okay, soft focus. Close up photograph of a bowl of ramen with an egg and spring onions. Okay, this thing is called spring onions. Not bad for me. Okay, next one. Okay, what am I seeing? I think looks like a photograph. A medium is a photograph of a polished wooden horse statue, maybe. A photograph of a full body, shiny, polished wooden horse statue, right? Oh, so excited what it's going to be. 83% match. A photograph of a dark wooden miniature statue of a horse against a backlight background. Wow, okay, not bad. Next one. So, level 1, I have done a pretty good job here. Let's go to the next level. Level 2, I need to include information about art period and materials. Oh god, okay. Definitely artists or historians probably do better than me now. It's getting too complicated for an engineer like me. But let's try it again. Okay, level 2. AI generated with Google, but what am I looking at? I think it's a modern building. Definitely modern because it's concrete here. A photograph, right, of a modern I think it's a hallway. Hallway made of concrete. A modern, I would say, put some period in there. Damn it. But the floor is shiny. How? With a shiny, glassy door. No, not door. Floor. And what is it called? Cells and ceiling of cells of, oh my god, fluorescence, whatever, I don't know how it's pronounced. Fluorescence, see, light bulbs. I ran out of characters here. Oh god, this is hard. Damn, it's really hard, guys. Woo! 79% match. Okay. A reflection of water The ground truth caption here is reflection of water on the ceiling of a concrete building. Reflection of water. You think this is water? Who put water there? Come on. Okay. Alright. Number 2. Okay, I think it's a photograph. Oh, what do you call this thing? Of pink. Do you think it's metallic? Not really. Pink tubes. Two towers, and I think this is in the playground. Is it modern? I don't have any time information for this thing. I would say like maybe like 2000 year, 2020, 2000 probably playground with a on background of a park. Pink tube of many pink vertical many vertical pink tube. Oh, this is hard, man. Okay. And wooden coffee table with what is it called, glass window. I think it's framed window. Seeing seas at the background. I will skip some words here. I'm not going to put it in the correct grammar. Hopefully that's it. Okay. How does it compute the match? I think it will compute the embedding of the ground truth image and the image that is generated for me and matched for the vector similarity. But this is my guess anyway. Oh look, I have 60% match. Not that great for this one. Okay, so it's the ground truth caption. Oh, it's called actually watercolor. A watercolor showing a cozy mid-century style. How am I gonna know? Mid-century style living room with wood paneling in afternoon light with windows opening to the ocean. Okay. So for those of you who can say this language, you know, language describing the an image, not engineering language. For those of you who can do this artistic language, you have an edge here. You can put your creativity at work and generate an image that you really you have in your head. Are there going to be level 3? Oh my god, there are level 3. Okay, identify the art style technique used by the artist. I'm gonna die here, guys. Art style, as far as I know, it's I don't know anything. I will try 1 or 2 pictures and then you get what I want to show you guys here, right? This is a cool, a good tool. You can put yourself through it, but I think level 3 is enough for me. Okay, let's go. Picture 1, level 3. I don't know. Is this called a negative image? A negative lighting? Negative image. Using black and pink of a what is this guy? Is it bee? Not a beetle, I think. Of a bee, I guess. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh god. 53% match. Come on, it looks okay for an engineer. Oh, you're not going to show me what it is? Come on, man. That's so mean. Alright, try it again. Alright. Yeah, that's all I see, man. Like, negative image. Okay, what can I see? Imprint. This is an imprint? Artistic imprint of a... What is this guy? I don't know. Artistic, negative, shadowy imprint of a wasp? I don't know. Hopefully more than 60%, and then... Okay, I failed. Tooltip mentioned the medium. I don't know what this medium is. Is it a painting, a photograph, or a sculpture? Okay, one more time. This is an illustration. Remove artistic negative imprint of a wasp using black and pink, orange. What do you think? Would I pass? How is it not relevant? Alright, I give up, guys. This is way too difficult for me. But I'm curious if you guys can do it, let me know. But here it is. This tool is great for you to learn how to write a caption for an image that you see in a way that the Stable Diffusion style kind of model or image generation model will understand. Oh, what is this button? Anyway, so here it is. This is a tool, a game that you can play with perhaps your kids as well. Next one. This is going to be some kind of like a concept representation or walkthrough about how Stable Diffusion works. I will encourage you guys to come to this website. This person has done a really good job at coming up with a interactive visuals of how Stable Diffusion works. So let's go to his website right here. So let me just name him so that he give him credit. So this guy, you can come to this guy's website, Polo Club, and he has Diffusion Explainer right here. Cool, good job. Thanks so much for this work. All right, so what I want you to see is just this part. So basically, in using image generation tool, even with ChatGPT or Midjourney, what you need to do is you type in text, a prompt that describes what you want the model, the generative AI model, to create. For example, the prompt of this example is a cute and adorable bunny with huge clear eyes holding a bunch of flowers in the styles of cute Pixar character. What is happening here is that this gets fed into another model that actually process the text prompt into a vector. Basically, it digests it into some kind of knowledge that we need to pass on to the model that will paint the picture. And there are many models that can process the information. Some models can use clip or open clip or bird, whatever it is. It's a text processor modeled. And after this processor, you get a vector for this whole prompt. And that vector will be provided to the model that is actually responsible for creating an image for you. Now, Stable Diffusion, it will start with a messy output, and this is called random noise. Stable Diffusion model is a model that gradually removes noise from an image, starting image, gradually remove noise in order to paint a picture that is closest to the text representation of the prompt as much as it can. And inside of this process, there are models, a few models in it, like the unit model, and this is pretty much a Stable Diffusion model inside. So basically you have the information from the text given to this particular model, and this model will run in loop. The first step is it's going to create some noisy image. You're not going to see anything here, but it will apply some sampling mechanism or denoising mechanism in steps, and then you start to realize that now it's getting closer to the image that the prompt supposed to describe. As an example here, when it walks you through time step recomputing the image, it starts to get to the cute bunny that the prompt says it should produce. And this is how Stable Diffusion works. You get a prompt, and then when you click start, it will first create a noisy image, and it will run through as many times as you want it to be. And in this example, we go through 50 steps together, and then you get the image that you want. So if you don't run the denoising process enough, you are not going to get the image that you want. But again, the more time step that you use, the longer it takes to compute as well. And this is the nature of Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion is available in many flavors, and the very popular provider of Stable Diffusion model is by Stability AI. Recently they released Stable Diffusion 3 Medium. I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you can actually come to Hugging Face and download a checkpoint, a model checkpoint, and use it on your computer. And this is what we are going to focus on today. But I have to say that right now, a tool called AUTOMATIC1111 doesn't support Stable Diffusion 3 Medium just yet, but it's a very user-friendly tool. So what I'm going to do here from now on is I'm going to show you how to set up AUTOMATIC1111 user interface, and when the Stable Diffusion 3 Medium is capable or is compatible with this tool, you can download and use it when you want. I'm going to cover another tool called ComfyUI as well. It's a little bit more involved, a little bit more complicated, but it is now compatible with Stable Diffusion 3 Medium model. So today you are going to get to see how to set up the Automatic 1111 and ComfyUI tools. Okay, here, let's get started. This is a beginner guide to Stable Diffusion on local machine with Automatic 1111. The detail of this can be found on my Substack channel. You can come to casedonbyai.substack.com and you can see these guides over here. Alright, let's start. So I am going to show you how I went through the steps to install Automatic 1111 on my computer and M1 Apple Silicon. The full installation details and in other platforms can be found in Automatic 1111 GitHub repo as well. And the UI will look like this, right? But I'll show you later. So basically, what you need to do is you need to create a Conda environment. specifically, you should specify the Python to be a version 3.10.6. You can create with this command, and after that you activate it with conda activate and the name of your environment. For me, I call it Stable Diff. Now, you then clone the GitHub repo. This is the AUTOMATIC1111 GitHub repo. You can clone it, copy the HTTPS link over here, and you clone it with this command, git clone that website. And what it's going to do is it will create a folder and pull all the files from this repository to that particular folder. Then you have a folder, right? Now let me just show you, just to be clear. I have downloaded it to my computer. I put it over here. So here, after you git pull, you have all these files. And what you need to do next is you need to download the models, the model checkpoints to be more specific, and put them in the right place. And the place for the model to be put here is inside this Git repo, Stable Diffusion Web UI. You put the models inside the models folder. In particular, for Stable Diffusion models, you put them over here. And these are the models that we will cover today. You have Stable Diffusion 2.1. I tried a Stable Diffusion 3 medium. It didn't work just yet. And I have two other models that they work for now, and we are going to cover today. One of them is called Inkpunk, and the other one is called Anything v3. So you can follow my guide to download the model, like Stable Diffusion 2.1. This is what we are going to discuss today. Put them in the folder, this one, Stable Diffusion models, Stable Diffusion folder. Put them there. Another model is called Anything v3. This is the model that put animate style into the image, right? This is fine-tuned to know a style of Japanese anime, and you can use this link to download the model and put it in the folder that I specified. Now, Anything v5 is available out there now, but I haven't found a way to access it yet. But if you can, I'm sure it should be able to be used with AUTOMATIC1111 as well. The last one that I really like the style, is the Inkpunk model, where it learns to paint in an image in a punky style. In order to use the model, you need to start with a keyword in the prompt, NV Inkpunk. But again, you can download it from Hugging Face website and put the model in the right folder, which is this particular folder, Models Stable Diffusion. Put all these models in this place and you will be able to use it. Now, the last step is to actually launch the user interface. When you browse to the folder right here, what you need to do is to execute this file. And sometimes you will run into an error. But if anything goes well, let's say that you have set up everything and you want to reopen the UI again, what you need to do is just this guy. Activate the environment that you have created. You go to the folder that you put the Stable Diffusion files, and you launch this file. And that's it. When you did these three commands, you will get eventually you will get a URL locally hosted on your laptop or your server right here, and usually it will pop up automatically to a window of a browser for you. Sometimes, and I ran into this problem myself too. When I ran this file, it complains that I need to incorporate this. Oh, that's a typo over here. But again, it will say that you need to do this and this in one of the file, the launch file. There are two ways that you can do this. You can edit this file, webUI user.sh. You can go to about line 9 or 10 and make sure that this is the case. Basically, you are exporting, making export command and contain the information like that. If you don't want to do this, you can also, rather than using webui.sh to launch, you can use Python to launch, but you need to call this file instead, launch.py, and then you can then specify your arguments to bypass the error like this. So actually, let me just launch this guy for you then. But again, when it's finished, you are going to see the interface like this. All right, so let's get our hands dirty. So here it is. This is my terminal. So I'm just going to minimize that for now. Okay, so where am I? I am in my home, right? So I am going to activate Stable Diff, and I am going to navigate to the folder that I pull files from AUTOMATIC1111 repo, which is, I think it's in document and cache done, other repo, and Stable Diffusion. Here it is. These are the files inside this, and I can launch it. By the way, I can just show you that I have used the fix for did I do that? Oh, I did not do it. Here, if you are going to fix it, you are going to remove the sharp from this line, and then you add the skip torch CUDA test over here. But I don't have this problem in my in this installation, so I did not need to do anything yet. So let's quit that. All right, so I'm going to do the launch now, webui.sh, and it's going to do everything that it is needed to do the setup, and eventually I will get a pop-up. It's pop-up on my other screen, so I'm going to just close it and copy and paste it to the screen that I want here. So here it is, guys. This is the user interface of AUTOMATIC1111. On the top left corner, you have a drop-down box where you can pick the model that you have put in the right folder right here. So right now we are selecting the Stable Diffusion 2.1 model, or you can switch it to the Inkpunk model that I have put in the right place here. So when you click there, it's going to unload the models and reload the select model so that we can use it later. Now, whilst it's doing that, so let's focus on this tab. This tab over here is a text-to-image tab, and there are two text boxes. The first one is the positive prompt, or the prompt. Typically, we call it prompt. This one you can put in words or some explanation of what you want the model to create an image representation of. And the negative prompt is words or sequence of descriptions that you want the model not to make a representation image of, right? So yes, so the Inkpunk is finished. It's uploaded now. So I'm going to put it back to where it is before, which is the Stable Diffusion 2.1. Now, while it's doing that, I can explain later in the later section over here. So, oops, run out of application memory. I am going to quit. Nothing. That's a risk. Anyway, so it's unloading its model right now. Maybe that's why it's taking such a huge memory. Okay, for the generation tab over here, it allows you to configure what kind of denoising mechanism or method that you want to use. And typically for beginners like me and like us, you can use DPM++2 models or the Euler process over here too. So let's say we are picking the Euler one, and here it is. There is a schedule type or the scheduler. You can pick automatic. I'll leave it automatic, but you can explore if you want to actually improve the quality of your image. Now, the next thing is about the sampling step. This is how many steps you want the denoising algorithm to process your image, right? The more, the better in terms of the quality of the image. Basically, you allow the model to remove noise and you get a high quality image as a result. But it also takes some time as well. For beginners level, we don't need to care about the high resolution fix and the refiner, and all of these are usually associated with some models, different models like a Stable Diffusion XL or Stable Diffusion 3 Medium, for example. But for now, we can just leave it as is. The other control in terms of the generation tab that we can have is how many pixels will be there in our generated image. Right now, I will leave it as 512 for both width and height, but actually for the Stable Diffusion 2.1, you can specify the input, the pixel, to be 768 pixels or more for both width and height. But I'm not going to do that because it's going to take a long time to process a higher number of pixel levels. Now, the last knob that you can control is the CFG scale. It stands for Classifier Free Guidance Scales. Here's the thing. A low value of CFG means that the AI is not going to conform much to your prompt. If you want the AI to conform well to your prompt, increase the CFG value. So now I'm just going to leave it at 7, the default value, but it's fair to say that for different models, you need to explore the optimal value of the CFG scale. So let's start with some image. Let's say a New York skyline at dusk, and I want to see some glittering of the river's surface, and I want it to be a little bit more realistic. This is the positive prompt that I give it to the model. I can also put a negative prompt there, like something that I do not want to see. I don't want to see pixelated. I don't want to see, I don't want it to be a color, watercolor. I don't want it to be, let's say, generally bad, or with some watermark. I don't want watermark too. Now, to kick off, I am going to use some low number value for sampling. Let's say 8, so that I know that I am in the right path or not. So when I click generate, it's going to do its thing at the background. Now I think it's encoding all this text to be a vector that contains information, and it will give it to a model to try to make sure that the image has the same representation of the text prompt that I give it. So it's about to be done. In a few seconds, we are going to have our first AI generated image. Here it is. So this is New York skyline at dusk with glittering river surface. Yeah, cool, and looks realistic. Now you can click here to enlarge the image. and you can actually see that the details is not there yet. It could be because the sampling steps is only 8, or we can increase it to get closer to the high quality output. Or it could be because the model itself has a limited capability. Again, I'm using Stable Diffusion 2.1 for the sake of my laptop. I want it to be able to hold the model inside my M1 computer silicon right here. So as a second step, I might just increase the sample step to 20 and we compute again. Here it is. I click the generate step button. Now it should start calculating the steps, the denoising steps for me. So if we actually look at oh, when did I minimize it? So if you're actually looking at the progress, now it's actually doing step 4 out of 20. Again, it's doing this thing, guys. It's denoising from the image one step at a time, and it will converge as the steps are progressing. It should converge to the result that we want faster. Well, not faster, better. Now my computer is quite slow because, well, it's M1 Apple Silicon. You can actually use cloud computing to hold your server. For example, on a Google Cloud platform, you can install AUTOMATIC1111 on the virtual machine on Google platform and run the UI from there as well. I have put instruction in my blog, and we will get to see it after this demonstration, right? Now look at that. This is not the quality that I want. This is more like a cartoony stuff. So here you can see that even when increasing the sampling steps, I might not get the same thing that I might not get the one that we want. I just need to iterate all this thing. Maybe we can give it another go. Could be because I spell this guy too. New York Skyline at dusk. Okay, yellow lighting. Okay, now I might as well increase the CFG value, right? This could be because my CFG value is low, so it doesn't really follow what I want. So I'm just going to double it. I don't know the gauge just yet of what should the optimal value of the CFG scale be, and this is something that you should experiment and try with a particular model that you are working with. So this will change from model to the other. Now it's calculating. It's getting there. Not really. It just started. So when while it's doing its thing, we can revisit this workflow manual again, right? So we will be talking about this particular model next, where this model has a unique style because it's been fine-tuned with this punky, cartoony, punky image. The thing is, for this model, you need to have a specific keyword in there to trigger the style to be in effect. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you want. And here I was talking about installing the AUTOMATIC1111 on a private server like the one that I hosted or use a Google Cloud platform. What you just need to do is you need to create a virtual machine that is correctly configured. Like this one, I use the one without a GPU just yet, just to make sure that I upload all the files that I need and make sure that it can run properly. And then the most important thing is to configure the firewall. Make sure that you allow the HTTP traffic to happen. And when you did that correctly and run your virtual machine, you will get an external IP address, and let's say the external IP address is 12.34.56.78. What you need to do is to put it here with the HTTP and append it with colon and the port number of the automatic 1111, which is usually 7860. And when you put it there in your web browser, you should be able to see the automatic 1111 interface, while the actual computation will happen on your private cloud engine, like Google Cloud, for example. Now let's go back to our computation. Looks okay. Not the one that I want. I want the sideline, but this is like a top view, right? But I guess I can add a top view to the negative prompt list, but I'm not going to do it now. So you see that when I increase the CFG value, I might get closer to what I want, right? And these are the basic parameters that a beginner like me need to be working with, like the sampling method, sampling type maybe, sampling steps, width and height, and CFG scales for the text-to-image tab. So now in the second step, let's use the image-to-image tab. So for that, I am going to focus my demo on the Inkpunk model, in which I want to generate a punky image style. Actually, before we do that, the Inkpunk model can also be used in the text-to-image format as well. So we can just give it a prompt, and it will trying to create an image that represent that textual prompt. So when the model has finished loading up, we'll start doing that. And probably we are going to keep the same settings here, so that we kind of know what we need to do, what kind of prompt setup that we need to use with the Inkpunk. So Inkpunk is meant to create humanoid character, right? So that's the style. So let's change the prompt to it have some human in it. So I'm going to say Inkpunk, NV Inkpunk, which is a keyword that you need to use to actually trigger the style that we need. Okay, how about a Buddhist monk pondering? I think reading scripture. I'm not sure what it's going to look like. I will remove the cartoon because it's actually very cartoony, right? Let's keep the everything as is. CFG value, let's try there. Okay, let's generate. I'm wondering how it is doing in the command line. So yeah, it's starting the first step now, progressing towards the end. Hopefully I can generate an image that looks cool like this. Really cool. I encourage you to explore all these tabs when you know more about Automatic 1111 tool. When we are waiting for the image to generate, I will ask you questions. Why don't we use already made tools like ChatGPT or Midjourney, where you can just give a prompt and you can get a very beautiful image? Well, you can. There's no stopping you for that, right? But from my perspective, knowing a tool like Automatic 1111, you have more flexibilities and more tools, custom tools you can experiment and try with. For example, in the tab in the train tab, you can even train your model, like custom train your model, and you can implement companion models like the hyper networks or the control nets to create some kind of custom image generation workflow for yourself. Oh wow, look at that. I really like this one. It's actually a Buddhist monk reading a scripture in punky style. I like that. Now, I have the image that I like. What I can do here is I can click this button to save it to my drive. It's now saved to my download folder. But you also have other shortcuts here at the bottom. So this one is a button where you can send an image and the parameters, like this one, these are parameters to this tab. We're not going to click there. If you click, it's going to be there. This one is going to send the image and the generation parameters to the in paint, which is also in the image to image tab. This one is going to send it to extras tab over here, and in extra tab you have other features as well. Now, quite interestingly, at the bottom of the image you will get to see it will repeat the prompt, the negative prompt, and other parameters that are used in order to create this image. You can save it and probably you can type it back to regenerate this again. One thing to note is that the seed is here. This is a seed that starts the randomly generated noise in the first step. I haven't specified the seed here. When you specify the seed to be -1, it means, or just give me a random number. And that's why when you click generate, even though everything else is the same, except the seed is equal to -1, you'll get a different image. So if you want to reproduce this, make sure that you know the seed value and put it there. Alright, what I want to do next is to show you the image to image prompt. Sorry, image to image capability. So you still have the two boxes for prompts, but what you have at the bottom here is also upload an image section. So let me just click to upload my self-portrait image right here. I want to transfer this, well, I want to create an image that still based on this original image, but transfer or impose a punky style upon it. So I can do this. Still, I need to invoke a keyword in the Inkpunk. I want it to be fierce. I should look fierce. I should look like a wall tie, and I want to look a little bit bloody, maybe, and I don't want this figure image of myself. So these are the prompts. You can set to whatever you want to try. Now, this image is pretty large in terms of pixels. I don't want to do that. I don't want to like I want to reduce the number of the pixels, otherwise it's going to generate it for a long time. So I can come to the resize option here, just resize, and I'm going to resize it by scaling. So I am going to reduce it to just 30% of what it was before. So which is about now the resultant image will only have 288 by 432 number of pixels. Sampling methods, I can leave it to DPM. I will start sampling with maybe 10 steps first, and CFG, maybe I want it to be following my instruction well here, because there's quite a little bit difference between what the image looked like and the prompt. So maybe I want to increase the value of the CFG. Now in the image to image tab, you have an additional parameter. This is the denoising strength. What it means is when denoising strength is low, there is going to be less style transfer. Basically, in this particular application, I'm going to get a less punky style. But if I increase the denoising strength to the end, I am going to transfer a lot from the Inkpunk image model to my original image, meaning I'm going to get more Inkpunk style image. Cool. All right, we have everything set up for our first trial. So let's kick off by clicking generate. Now it should be generating something in this one right here. 8 steps and counting. It's coming up, guys. Here it is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. I look like a cyborg. Now the quality might not be good because it's blurry. Could be because the sampling steps is low. I can try it again by increasing the steps, sampling steps to be 20 rather than 10. I will leave everything else the same so that I know what goes wrong and what parameter I should increase or decrease. So yeah, try to unconfounding your experiment. Keep the confounding parameter as low as possible. Look at that. I'm getting a female now, and this is because I haven't specified that I want a male character there. Here it is. So let's try male and try it again. You can see the iteration process of experimentation, right? I'm not going to know right off the bat if I use the correct prompt or not. I need to try. Similar to writing a prompt for the large language models, right? It's about experimentation, learning best practice. There's no guide. You just need to learn the best practice and keep experimenting. Look a little bit better, right? Look at the quality. Pixelated, but not bad. It's actually, I think it's usable. I was just going to save it. Here we go. So for the sake of experimentation, let's lower the denoising strength to be only 25%, while keep other things the same. So this is supposed to be resulting in an image that looks pretty much like my original image here, and we should be able to see some kind of style transfer from the Inkpunk model. Look at that. Look at that. I changed just a little bit. Maybe now we know that this is too low. We might want to increase it to, let's say, 50% and hit generate again. Here we go. How is it going to look like? It's starting. So one thing that I want to share with you, continue with the well, it's about to finish. Maybe I hold on to this information. It looks really bad. So I'm going to show you the effects of the batch size. If I increase it to 2, when I click generate, I'm going to get 2 images. So here we go. I kick off the computation, and that gives me time to give you more information about Google Cloud Platform. So apparently I still haven't have 100% success rate at setting this up and run AUTOMATIC1111 user interface from the Google Cloud Platform just yet. Somehow when I tried this morning, the external IP, the way that I described to you guys, I couldn't access it anymore. It seems like so the configuration for the firewalls kind of failed. I don't know what happened overnight, but yes, I'm still struggling to find a correct way that is 100% sure how to do that. Haven't found the way yet. So if I find out what happened and what went wrong, I will definitely share it with you guys. But the message here is that it's possible to host your compute on the server and use the UI interface on your laptop. Here it is, guys. The effect of increasing the batch size is that when you click generate, you are going to have more images per generation. And if you are happy with or want to probe out any of these figures, you can take a look at this key features here, and you see that the seed number is different. This one ends with 88 while this one ends with 89. So yeah, that's why they are different, right? Okay, this is pretty much what I want to cover for AUTOMATIC1111 tool. You can actually, I encourage you to play with this so that you know what is happening before you go on to explore other things like Inkpunk capabilities. These will probably, most of these features will probably need you to have other models that enable these features, and some of them will automatically download the models for you. Some of them might not. You need to know where to download those models and keep it in the right folder as well. In the train tab, you can create an embedding. You can train your model that you want to use in the future. Basically, customize to what you need. Yes, and this is it for the AUTOMATIC1111. Before I go on, there is another model that I mentioned, anything v3. It works in the same way as the Inkpunk, but it's going to result in a different style. You can use it with text-to-image generation or the image-to-image generation as well. So I encourage you to explore this when you have time. So we are ready to go to the next tool, which is ComfyUI. Now, this tool is a little bit more intimidating than the AUTOMATIC1111 tool, but the cool thing about it is that it provides you with a modular workflow that you can see what starts here and then what's the next step and what needs to be set, what are the settings in each of these steps. And you can also customize this workflow when you get to a mastery level of using this tool. And another cool thing is that ComfyUI now accepts a recently released model, Stable Diffusion 3 Medium. And that's why what we are going to use it today. In terms of installing the ComfyUI tool, you can come to my article on this Substack and follow the guide to install at least on the M1 Apple Silicon MacBook. But for complete installation details in different situations and different machines, you can go to, oh sorry, this is AUTOMATIC1111. Oh, this is a typo, sorry. So, but yeah, you can go to ComfyUI repo to take a look at installations in different situations, different machines that you have. The process is quite similar to AUTOMATIC1112, where you will create your environment this is a typo there. You create your environment, and then you install all the necessary libraries. You will clone from the GitHub repo, and then you will then install again with the requirement files, and you download the model, in this case Stable Diffusion 3 medium, and put it in the right folder, in which for this ComfyUI it's under models and checkpoints folder. And then when you want to run the model, you can use Python main.py, and you might want to use other flags as well, and the information of the flags can be found on the ComfyUI documentation. Now once everything is ready and done completely, you will get to the UI using this local IP address with this particular port. So I have done all this. So this is UI. ComfyUI is cool because it's a modular workflow, and you can see the process flows, and we'll get to see that in a moment. So I am going to go back to my terminal. First, I am going to activate the environment that I use for ComfyUI, and I need to go to the repo that I cloned from the GitHub, which is here, and these are the files inside this folder. In terms of models that I have in there, in the checkpoint folder, these are the model. I have put Inkpunk in there as well, and also the Stable Diffusion 3 medium. It's already there. So let's just kick off with Python main.y. Here we go. I have this to access my UI. This is how it looks like, guys. You see nodes, right? And this is the workflow. It will start from here. This node is going to load the model. I can select the model that I want to use here. I'm going to select Stable Diffusion 3 medium, and these two boxes are for positive prompts and the negative prompts. So maybe we can revisit what we did for Stable Diffusion 2.1. New York skyline at dusk, yellow, natural yellow lighting, glittering river surface. For Stable Diffusion 3 medium, you might not need to provide negative prompt, but just to be complete, I am going to say that I don't want pixelated, I don't want dark, maybe it will contradict with dusk, I don't want watermark, for example, and I don't want distort. Alright, and below you have access to provide the pixels for the width and the height. I'll keep it to 512 as before. I might want to start, I want to compute 4 images per batch. Now we are at the sampling methods and scheduler node. So you can pick from the sampler method here. I'll pick Euler as before. The CFG scale is here. Let's set it to 8. 20 steps maybe. And that's the rest. Should be fine. And the last one, this node doesn't have any parameter for us to configure there. It's just for us to see what is going to happen after the scheduler has done its thing, and eventually we get to the output node where we can see the picture here. So everything is ready to get it a go. And to get it to go, you need to click Q prompt right there. And it's going to start doing its thing, focusing on, now you will see a green border line for telling you that where the process is at right now. So now it's moved to now it's actually at the sampling steps, or the denoising step right now. So it will take a while for us to go through for the model to compute this thing. So while it's doing that, what is happening on the right hand side panel? So these panels are to actually control your canvas over here. Whatever you see here, it's called a workflow. You can save a workflow, you can load a workflow, you can refresh it, you can load some default workflow. This is the default workflow that it will start when I just starting to use ComfyUI. And the reset is not doing anything except set back to the zoom level like this, right? And you can scroll, you can drag, hold your mouse and drag, you can scroll to zoom in and out. You can interact with the nodes by clicking on it. Now here you can see the green progress bar as well, saying where it is right now in the process. This will actually take some time. So before it's finished, I can talk about how this thing will fit together. So I give you this prompt: a beautiful woman wearing glasses, reading a book, standing at a corner of a coffee shop. There should be a space at a coffee shop, but whatever. So how is it compared between using image generation models from, let's say, GPT-4 or probably powered by DALL-E 3 or whatsoever, and how is it compared to Stable Diffusion 2.1, where we can use it via AUTOMATIC1111, and Stable Diffusion 3 Medium that we are using it via a ComfyUI? How are they compared? And I have done that, and this is the result, guys. We have a GPT-4 right here having the same prompt. It beautifully generated an image for us, and what you realize is that I haven't really provided the aspect ratio of the image, and it decided that it should put this image in a vertical orientation to get kind of like a portrait paint of the lady in the task. While the Stable Diffusion models, I specified the pixel to be 512 for both of these guys here, and I ran it into I used Euler sampling, 20 steps, and I generated 4 pictures at the same time, and I picked the best one. And this is the best one from Stable Diffusion 3 Medium and Stable Diffusion 2.1. And you can actually see that the quality of the Stable Diffusion 3 is significantly better than Stable Diffusion 2.1. Well, to be honest, it's fair, right? Well, you make it better. But again, if you take a look in detail, like the fingers are not that right, the coffee cup here looks strange, there are 2 holders, that doesn't make any sense. But honestly, you can, if you're not nitpicking on this little thing, you can use this image the way you want, except for the Stable Diffusion 3 Medium, you cannot use it for commercial purposes. This is how they compared. But again, I used exactly the same prompt to all of these. This might not be the best practice. Some model, because these models are not trained in the same way, they are not going to see the same caption, the same pair of caption and image. So it's hard to say that this is the right way to compare these models. But this is human language, you know, like to squeeze out the performance, you might need to draft your prompt in the language that these models has been trained on, and this could result in equally impressive image generation output. But this is not what I did. I just gave them the same prompt and see the result. So all in all, I think GPT-4o is quite impressive for a quick and high fidelity image. But if you want flexibility, you are looking at open source models as well, maybe the Stable Diffusion 3 and open source tools like AUTOMATIC1111 and ComfyUI is what you need to work on your customization workflow. And what I actually like about the ComfyUI is the modular node workflow like this, so I can see where information goes, and it's actually clearer compared to Stable Diffusion on clearer than the AUTOMATIC1111 where or how these things are interconnected. But it looks more intimidating. Well, that's the pro and cons. And from what I've seen, there's more interest in using ComfyUI nowadays. You can search for example workflows so that you can start building yourself. You can borrow this workflow from that person and so on. It's actually very, very flexible and adaptable. Oh, okay, we are almost done at generating the New York skyline. Where here it is, guys. So that's the result. So let me try to enlarge this. Wow, I really like this one. Good, right? Well, yeah, this one is also good. One thing is that maybe because I said it at dusk, all of these buildings didn't start turning on the light just yet. But as you can see, Stable Diffusion 3 medium has better performance than Stable Diffusion 2.1. I'm sure that eventually AUTOMATIC1111 can handle Stable Diffusion 3 medium. It just cannot for now. It's usually behind, in terms of handling new model, AUTOMATIC1111 is usually behind ComfyUI. If you want this picture, what do? You click on it and you right click and you can save the image. Now it's going to be dumped into the default download folder from me, but you can also access it via the folder. So if this is the folder, you will have a output folder where now all the image generated here will be dumped in here. So make sure that you clean this up because it's going to take up your hard disk for sure. And this brings us to a close. So thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We are Case Done by AI. We are on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Substack, as well as GitHub, where we put our code up there as well. And thanks for staying throughout this live session. Basically, we walk you through image generation, focuses on Stable Diffusion models. We covered Stable Diffusion 2.1, 3 medium, and other fine-tuned custom-tuned model like Anything V3 and Inkpunk models. We also covered two important tools, AUTOMATIC1111 and ComfyUI, so that you can set it up on your local laptop or your private virtual machine on the cloud and use these tools to explore your creativity. Again, thanks for staying with us, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a good day.